We have no bread.
Of course you have no bread.
What do you wish?
It's not what I wish, but what you wish. Nothing cooking in there now, is there?
The old enchantress went on to tell the people that she had placed a spell on their house. What spell?
In the past, when you were no more than a babe, your father brought his young wife and you to this cottage. They were a handsome couple, but not handsome neighbors. You see, your mother was with child, and she had developed an unusual appetite. She took one look at my beautiful garden and told your father that what she wanted more than anything in the world was greens, and nothing but greens. Parsley, peppers, cabbages and celery, asparagus and watercress and fiddle ferns and lettuce. He said, all right, but it wasn't right, because I caught him in the autumn in my garden one night. He was robbing me, raping me, rooting through my rutabaga, raiding my arugula, and ripping up my rampion, my champion, my favorite. I should have laid a spell on him right there. Could have turned him into stone, or a dog, or a chair, or a... but I let him have the rampion. I'd lots to spare. In return, however, I said, fair is fair. You can let me have the baby that your wife will bear, and we'll call it square.
I had a brother?
No, but you had a sister.
But the witch refused to tell him any more of his sister, not even that her name was Rapunzel. She went on.
I thought I had been more than reasonable, and that we might all live happily ever after. But how was I to know what your father had also hidden in his pocket? You see, when I inherited that garden, my mother had warned me that I would be punished if I ever were to lose any of the beans.
Beans?
The special beans. I let him go. I didn't know he'd stolen my beans. I was watching him crawl back over the wall. Then bang, crash, the lightning flashed. Oh, well, that's another story. Never mind. Anyway, at last the big day came. I made my claim. Oh, don't take away the baby, they shrieked and screeched. But I did, and I hit her where she'd never be reached. Her father cried, and her mother died. And for extra measure, I admit it was a pleasure. I said, sorry, I'm still not mollified. And I laid a little spell on them, on you too, son, that your family tree would always be a barren one. So there's no more fuss and there's no more scenes, and my garden thrives. You should see my nectarines, but I'm telling you the same I tell kings and queens. Don't ever, never, ever mess around with my beans, especially the beans. This is the world I meant. Couldn't you listen? Couldn't you stay content, safe behind walls, as I could not? Now you know what's out there in the world. No one stays untainted by the world. Only I, who loved you as you were. Only I, who's frightened less of her than them. No matter what you say, children won't listen. No matter what you know, children refuse to learn. Guide them along their way, still they won't listen.
Rehearsal tracks.
Children can only grow from something you love to something you lose.